Hi, folks. So I'm here for your full moon forecast. So we have a full moon happening in Sagittarius on the 11th of June. So you're probably already feeling this fiery energy stirring up. So that's happening at 8:43 a.m. GMT time at 20 degrees and 38 seconds. And I just looked at my chart and it's like right on my midheaven. So it's always fun when the astrology is like bang on a part of your chart, because I'm feeling so lit up about my work right now and really like it feels so alive in the way I'm holding space for people. So I was like, yep, it's right there. So basically wherever a full moon is happening at that point in your chart is a really powerful time to be visible, to be seen, you might see things coming to fruition of full moons. You know, if you work with the moon cycles and you've planted seeds at the new moon, the full moon is a time of fruition of things when they come into culmination. So, you know, I know as humans we can be impatient. So it doesn't always happen that in one moon cycle the thing fully comes into fruition. Of course, it depends how open you are to it, and if you've got any beliefs or any energetic blocks standing in the way. But this should be feel a sense of inspiration at this full moon. Like, what is your vision? Sagittarius speaks to what is the vision? What is the bigger picture? What is that bow and arrow that you're shooting towards? And we've also got to consider the other side of this, which is Gemini, which is the rational mind, which is logical, that questions everything. Whereas that Sagittarius can be a bit blasé about the details and just go for it, right? And we really need that energy sometimes, because when we overthink things, which that Gemini can do, we then don't shoot and take those actions. So, and on the flip side, if we do have too much blind faith, then we miss the details. So there's a real balance about shooting for our vision, aiming towards that vision that we're holding and being really intentional about that, but also asking the questions and digging deeper, like that curiosity of Gemini helps us do. So, and this full moon is in a square with the nodes. So nodes can be about our soul path, but they're also about karma. So there may be some sort of karmic pattern that you're experiencing that is surfacing at this full moon, because the full moon will bring anything up that is lurking in our subconscious that we maybe, when we're aware of it, but we haven't like dealt with it or shifted it or healed it. So just be open to, okay, what is that same pattern, and see it as a gift, because these things surface so that we can heal them. They surface because they're ready to be released and transmuted into something else. So see it like that. And if this same reoccurring pattern is coming up for you, it's like, okay, what is it here to teach you? If it's the same problem that is surfacing, what is the opportunity here, right? Because that problem is helping your soul grow, right? That challenge is helping you grow. We learn more from challenges and so-called failure than we do from success. So what is that wisdom that you're acquiring from that same situation? There is wisdom there, and there is medicine for you. And just that awareness, seeing it, is the first step to healing it. That awareness is huge. So clock that awareness and then work to release that. If you need support, reach out to me, an astrologer, or somebody else that's going to guide you through that. But yeah, so that's an interesting one. And we've obviously had Venus. This is great. Venus has been in Aries for a long time. So there's been this real sort of quick, we've got to get moving very quick, and kind of the way we love, like our love language and what we value, everything feels like at a fast pace in Aries. Now Venus is in Taurus, which is, it's in its home place. So Venus in Taurus is really about, you know, enjoying the pleasures of life, slowing down, being, celebrating yourself. That Taurus really loves the finer things in life. So this is a really grounded energy that's coming in here to support us in aligning with our values, bringing in more abundance in a slow and steady way. Taurus is about taking those steady actions every day, rather than quick fix. That the Aries, like Aries, Venus in Aries was not a good placement, and it can kind of be a little bit passive aggressive in search of its goals. So that Venus in Taurus is like, right, I know that's what I desire. I have the heartful intention there. I'm going to trust, and I'm going to be slow and steady with that coming into being. So it's a much slower energy. It's more embodied. That's what I describe it as. So you will feel a softening if you felt that Aries energy. It will feel a bit slower, like things are slowing down. But also, when we slow down, we notice more. And that's where that true knowledge that we have turns into wisdom. So I love a bit of that slow Venus in Taurus energy. And then at this full moon, we've got Uranus is in a square to Mars. So it's almost like in the background, we've got that real fiery shooting for your vision, this need for the thirst for knowledge and truth. And I want to say what was coming loud and clear through before I recorded this is like, your medicine is your truth. Your medicine is your truth. So whatever you are birthing in this world through your soul work, through your soul business, when you speak from your truth, people will be magnetized towards you because you are being true, you are standing in integrity, you're being authentic. So this is sort of this flavor of this energy. It's like, what do you stand for? Like, what wisdom wants to come through you? You are that channel, and you are unique. There is no one else like you. So this full moon, like, may it illuminate truths that you've known that you need to speak into existence. You want to share them through your social media. You want to create videos, write about them, really use this fiery moon to ignite that passion. And if you felt like your vision feels really unclear, you don't know what direction you're heading in, see the clues around this full moon, like what situations and experiences are happening around this full moon, because that will give you guidance. If there's a little nudge, follow those nudges. And actually, in the past week, I've heard this about 3 or 4 times, is I was at networking session and I was speaking about what I do and sharing about astrology. 2 people, one lady was like, oh, your energy, you just embody peace. And then another lady's like, your voice is just so soothing, I could listen to you all day. And then an old mentor also told me the same, like, you need to do something with your voice. And I always think if spirit talks to you in threes, it's a sign to listen to that. So watch this space. So you might get clues like that. The divine spirit talks through people as well. So what are the common threads or themes that you're receiving in your everyday life? Listen to that. So the Uranus-Mars square, it's a funny one because they're both really fast energies. It's like, I've got to take action immediately. I've got to act on my impulse. And sometimes that's great, but also we also need the discernment to go, is my heart actually in this? So that aspect can bring about unexpected changes or scenarios that kind of shake you, because Uranus is like a radical energy. It can also bring inspiration. So if something like a curveball occurs in your life, that Mars is actually going to help you move the dial forwards. So something might not go to plan, but that Mars is like, right, I'm going to use this as motivation to move forwards. So you can use that to your advantage. That Mars is fast, fast thinking, quick moving. They're both really quick energies. So there is this dynamic at this full moon that's like supporting you with that vision. If you ran something, it didn't go to plan, that's okay. Trust. I know as a 3-5 projector that I'm here for trial and error. So if you're a 3-5, I know what I'm talking about. And it's that awareness that helps to move the dial forward. And then we've got Saturn and Neptune in a conjunction, and there it is in a square to Jupiter. So there's this real almost push and pull between Saturn, Neptune. Like, what are the foundations? What is the structure that you need to pursue that vision, that goal? And then, how can you grow into that? So Saturn wants a boundary. Saturn wants to have a container, which I know a lot of creative people are resistant to, but ultimately you need a container for your creativity to flow. If you think of Saturn as this wise elder, he is the wise soul that says, okay, you want that thing, and this seems to be a message I keep speaking to. You want that vision, you want more freedom, you want to travel the world. Okay, that's what you want, that's what you desire, that's what feels good to you. Where's the self-discipline? What are the steps you're taking every day to move closer to that vision? Because we can't make it happen out of thin air. So Saturn makes you show up consistently and do the work. But it's conjunct Neptune, it might feel a bit elusive because Neptune does not like boundaries. It rules Pisces, so it's a bit all over the place. So when we have Neptune and Saturn together, it's like almost elusive boundaries. It's almost like you might be putting boundaries in and then you don't stick to them. Or like you say you're going to go to bed at 10 and then you let it slip and you go to bed at 11. Things like that. So be aware of where you're actually stepping over your own boundaries, because yes, we need boundaries with other people, but it's also with ourselves, right? So just checking in with yourself and being truthful to what is happening in your everyday life. So this kind of push pull between, I need those boundaries, I need those structures, which are stretching me to grow, and that Jupiter in Cancer is like, but I just need to have the empathy and the compassion, particularly when you step over those boundaries. Okay, seeing it, being loving with yourself and going, okay, I did that again. Okay, there's obviously a part of me that's resistant to this. And being really compassionate with yourself, because that Jupiter that has just moved into Cancer recently is all about being more compassionate with our emotions and others. How can we be more kind and tender to ourselves, right? This water energy really needs space and time to be and to integrate. So although we've got this fiery dynamic of the Sagittarius full moon that is stretching us, that is wanting us to grow and to launch our bow and arrow into the distance, even when we don't see how the thing is going to happen, there's this Jupiter in Cancer that's really seeking that security, like feeling safe in yourself, feeling safe in your body. So, if there's work to do there, that theme may surface at this full moon as well. So it's like there's a real fiery energy at this full moon with this sort of watery dynamic as well. And, the Sagittarius energy is like the centaur, the half man, half horse. So there's a real wildness and a real raw quality to this full moon that's like, okay, fuck it, just do it. What is the worst that's going to happen? Because if I shoot for the moon, at least I'll land behind the stars, type of thing. So go for it. Like that Gemini will make you overthink, ask the questions, and then be discerning and shoot for the vision. So this is an exciting one, guys. I hope you feel a lift of energy and yeah, fieriness that is surfacing this full moon. Let me know how this full moon is feeling for you. Let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, and feel free to share with anyone that you know this will help. And if it is supportive to you, then please hit that subscribe button. I'd be really grateful. And I will see you again for the next full moon forecast.